For as long as man has been using cutting tools, he has recognized the need to keep them sharpened. This is true of kitchen knives, farming tools, and of instruments in a dental practice. Hard deposits on teeth can only be effectively removed by instruments which are well maintained and sharpened. More effort is required to remove calculus if blunt instruments are used. The consequences are extended treatment time for both operator and patient. Also, calculus and root irregularities may only be partially eliminated. The ScanSharp makes the maintenance of instruments quick and easy, so that they are always ready for use. Optimal sharpening can only be achieved if the form and geometry of the instruments are known. Generally, there are 3 types of instrument: scalers, universal curettes, and surface-specific curettes. The most commonly used cutting edge has an angle of 70 degrees between the face and the lateral surface. In instruments with 2 cutting edges, the face will always be at 90 degrees to the lower shank. In surface-specific curettes with only 1 cutting edge, the face has an angle of 70 degrees to the lower shank. The basic principle of instrument sharpening is to maintain the anatomical form and predefined angles of the instrument. The cutting edge should always be sharpened on the lateral surface. If the face is sharpened, the instrument will be weakened and will bend or even break. To begin with, we must understand the construction of the instrument. All types of instruments have a working end, various shanks, and a handle. The working end of the instrument consists of a face, 2 lateral surfaces, and a back. The edge where the face and the lateral surface meet is the cutting edge. There can be 2 cutting edges or 1 cutting edge. The instrument can have a pointed toe or a rounded one. The correct sharpening angles for the most commonly used instruments are listed in the ScanSharp Instructions Manual. We will now look at the different types of instrument: a scaler, a universal curette, and a surface-specific curette, and show how each type should be sharpened. Scalers, which are used for removing supragingival calculus, have 2 cutting edges and have a pointed toe. We will now begin to sharpen the scaler. To begin with, switch the machine to the off position. Mount the sharpening disc, checking that the hole and the axle are completely clean. Make sure that the disc is positioned correctly and that the support stand fits over the pins on the side of the ScanSharp and into the 3 prepared notches. Turn the on-off switch to auto. You should always check the direction of rotation before sharpening. The disc should always rotate away from the cutting edge. Place the instrument into the correct angle on the stand and place the cutting edge over the black line. You can check that the sharpening angle is correct by marking the lateral surface of the instrument with a felt pen. Placing the instrument into a predetermined angle on the support stand and turning the disc with your finger. If the angle is correct, the felt pen mark will be removed. If the cutting edge is curved, as you can see here, the instrument should be rotated gently several times. The second cutting edge should be sharpened in the same way. Sharpen gently and do not use too much pressure. The universal curette, which is also used for removal of supragingival calculus, has 2 parallel cutting edges and a rounded toe. To sharpen a universal curette, this is a McCall instrument, look up the sharpening angle in the chart. It will show that the cutting edge of the McCall instrument should be sharpened at 0 degrees. Place the instrument at the correct angle and sharpen the first cutting edge. To accommodate the straight cutting edges of the universal curette, the whole edge should be held against the sharpening disc. To sharpen the second cutting edge of the instrument, simply turn it, keeping it in the correct position in the stand, with the cutting edge over the black line, as already mentioned. Remember that the disc should always rotate away from the cutting edge. Lastly, we will demonstrate how to sharpen the rounded toe of the instrument. Turn the on-off switch to manual and hold the instrument so that the toe is sharpened in the groove on the edge of the sharpening disc. Surface-specific curettes, which are used for subgingival removal of calculus and root planing, have only one cutting edge and a rounded toe. To demonstrate the sharpening procedure, we have chosen a Gracie 7/8 curette. The instructions manual tells us that this instrument must be sharpened at 45 degrees. The curette is placed in the support stand, and we begin to sharpen. Remember to rotate the instrument in order to retain the curved cutting edge. Burrs left on the face after sharpening are removed with a piece of cork. We can check whether the instrument is sharp enough by planing the surface of a plastic pen, for example. ScanSharp's standard sharpening disc has a grain size of 10 microns and leaves only very fine traces of sharpening. Sometimes it is necessary to sharpen new instruments if they are roughly made. You can see here an instrument which we have sharpened. Compared to a completely new instrument. The ScanSharp is designed to be used at chairside and can be used to sharpen instruments which feel blunt during treatment. All contaminated parts of the ScanSharp can, of course, be sterilized. Some instruments become blunt so quickly that it is necessary to sharpen them several times during one treatment. If your dental practice has instruments which are not listed in the instructions manual, the correct support angle can easily be found by using the instrument face clip and the angle measurer. Place the working end of the instrument carefully into the clip so that it fits into the notch and is held stable. Place the clip together with the instrument on the angle measurer and position the clip so that the long leg is in the 70-degree position. The working part of the instrument should be in the centre of the angle measurer and the cutting edge flat against the surface of the drawing of the grinding wheel. The sharpening angle can now be read off under the instrument's handle. If you need to improve the face, the offset pin will ensure that you place the instrument on the same part of the rounded edge of the sharpening disc every time. This will guarantee a perfect surface to the instrument face. In addition to ScanSharp's standard accessories, we can offer you, for example, equipment for the sharpening of scissors. This can be done quickly and easily, as well as sharpening points for the sharpening of curved instruments, for example, faces. The ScanSharp provides the operator with optimal conditions for the removal of calculus and root irregularities and ensures that the patient receives an effective and more comfortable treatment. The ScanSharp is delivered in a practical carrying case which protects both the main unit and its accessories.